Howdy, howdy, everybody. We are just about to get started. Super excited. It's another great Wednesday, another great day to be alive. Hope some of you guys are out there trying to sell real estate and not GameStop stock. So love to hear what you guys got going on. We'd love to get the podcast started here. We are going to talk today about the top 10 ways we see people using VAs to lead generate. Because here's the thing. A lot of us use virtual assistants to make our lives a lot less stressful, from personal life management to business organization to admin work. But something that doesn't get talked about a lot is how to use VAs to actually make you more money. So we're going to kind of dive into that. But before we get started, I want to start off with something fun for you guys watching in here. I got the stock market up behind me because I'm just like you guys. I all became a stock market broker overnight in 2021. Tell me your favorite stock that you think I should buy right now while we're letting people jump on. Throw it in the comments. Would love to see what stock you think I should buy in 2021 as we wait for a few more people to jump on. Feel free to comment away and I will answer you guys. But with that being said, we want to cover today lead generation when it comes to virtual assistants. So there is two ways to lead generate when you get a virtual assistant. Way number one is what we call stress reduction and time and money freedom. So when you are looking at, should I be getting a virtual assistant? Is it for me? Is it not? You're either going to get a VA for one or the other reason. Reason number one you have a VA is you already know how to lead generate and you've already hit a ceiling. So you're like, I don't need any more new methods, Justin, to lead generate. What I do works, but I am just running out of time to do what I do. So that would be category number one, is you're going to bring in a virtual assistant to do everything that is not that one thing, right? If your lead generation method is door knocking, for example, you should not be doing anything in your day other than door knocking, showing clients, and doing the money producing activity. So that's way number one of getting a VA, is basically taking your admin tasks so you can lead generate and make more money. The second way is, Justin, I feel like I'm here, I'm in a good zone, but I need someone else to help make more money at the same time. And that's kind of more on the side of a lead generation VA, which is what we're going to talk today about. Now, they obviously can blend in together and make money and stress reduce you, but that's something that comes over time. Now, with that being said, we all know and we've all heard of companies that allow virtual assistants to cold call, that allow them to call for sale by owners and expireds. And you know, most of you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of that. We do it, we help people do it, and people are successful with it. But I think that there are so many better ways to use VAs to make you money instead of having to put this pressure on your virtual assistant to do expired for sale by owners. Because here's the number one reason and the passion I have behind virtual assistants is most people never realize the true power of a virtual assistant because they got oversold. VA companies have oversold the dream of a virtual assistant to you and under-delivered over and over and over again. And here's why. Because they're going after your pocketbook. They know that they need to offer you things like, hey, we'll do for sale by owners and expireds and we'll make you all this money and all these appointments. And the reality is that is so difficult to pull off. There's a reason why you don't call for sale by owners. There's a reason why you don't call expireds. There's a reason why you don't do any of that, because it's not naturally something you like to do. So even though we're paying somebody else to do it, what makes you think that they naturally like to do it? Now, again, I know there's people out there, but I only say that to show, we're going to show you guys some ways today that our people are using VAs at a high level to make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars without having to have their VA cold call and do any of those different crazy methods, which work. Don't let me kid you. We help people with that all the time. But for most of us, that's not, even if I told you, hey, I can get you someone that can get you 10 appointments a week cold calling, you probably aren't even enjoying the appointments. You probably don't enjoy the follow-ups. You probably don't even enjoy calling that person for the first time after you got that lead, because it's just not your style. So today we are going to run through a few of the different topics. Today is supposed to be kind of a lot like last week, where I'm just going to kind of show you guys a slide. I'm going to show you what we do, and we're just going to talk through it and answer any questions you guys have. So thank you for the one person. They said that I should buy the Disney stock. I will definitely look into that, and I will make all of my decisions based on what you guys give me here. So number one way, and this is our most profitable way for most of our consumers, is they have their virtual assistants use Facebook referral group monitoring. Now, if any of you guys have ever been in these Facebook groups, we talked about this a little bit last week. These Facebook groups where agents put, hey, I need an agent in Denver. I need an agent in Nashville. I need an agent in so-and-so. Everybody always asks me, Justin, you're brand new to Nashville. How do you win all the referrals in the referral groups? And when I say all of them, I mean a lot of them. We're obviously not going to win all of them. There's people that are better at it than us. There's people that have been around longer, more experience. But I moved to a brand new market, and just last week, I signed 3 referral agreements from one Facebook group. And that became because my virtual assistants were watching this Facebook group, and every time someone posted in it, they got an alert on their phone. If you guys didn't know this, in Facebook referral groups, you can turn on alerts to where it will alert your phone every time somebody posts. That's critical, because now my VAs are getting alerted hundreds of times per day. And again, 99% of the time, it doesn't apply to me. It's something from Michigan or Florida, but it's not cluttering my phone, it's cluttering theirs. And so now they're able to help me. They'll shoot me a screenshot, they'll call me, they'll message me, go, Justin, there was one that just dropped in there, let's win it, right? And that is how we make sure that we're not losing in referral groups. A lot of you guys see, why do the same agents keep winning over and over again? How are they so fast? Aren't they selling a lot of homes? The trick is they're using virtual assistants to monitor these referral groups to win. It's been around for 10 plus years. It's even becoming more effective now. Make sure you have your VAs monitoring these referral groups. Other thing is your VAs should be monitoring how many referral groups exist. At last count, I counted 372 real estate agent referral groups across the nation. Most of you guys average about only being in 20 of them. Why would you not want to be in all 372? And so that is a great thing that your virtual assistant can do for you guys. So let me know in the comments here if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any comments, questions primarily, and let us know as we continue to run through these. Option number 2, Facebook Marketplace leads. Now, a lot of this is going to seem to you guys very simple. It's going to seem like it wouldn't impact your business in a large way, or it's going to seem like it's not really for me. Because here's the thing, when you have a virtual assistant, our mind thinks differently. When you have a virtual assistant, you stop thinking about time with a scarcity mindset. You start thinking about, oh yeah, I can actually do that now. How many of you guys, if you're being real, and there's 45 of you guys watching live, be honest with me, how many of you guys have ever been to a conference, you learned a great strategy that you know fit your style, you crush it, you just never executed on it, right? When you have a virtual assistant, you start to think differently. You start to go, actually, I have time for that because I have somebody working for me 40 hours a week. Now, just as a reminder, if you guys don't know how much virtual assistants cost, our average consumer in 2020, out of 400 plus real estate agents, they spent $4 an hour for a virtual assistant. That is $640 a month for a virtual assistant. And so when you think about that, that's roughly $7,000 a year. When we look at something like Facebook Marketplace leads, what if your VA took all of your listings all year long, even if it was only 5 to 10, and they placed them every single day of the year in all of these Facebook groups, right? All these different places that you're being seen at, that people could possibly click on the link, possibly go to your website, possibly register, and possibly make you a $10,000 checks. There's someone by the name of Michael Reese that always says, you are going to make money in direct relation to how many offers you put out into the marketplace. If you want to make more money, you got to have more offers into the marketplace. And that is one thing the VA can do, is they can put more offers out by doing these repetitive tasks that you would never do. So if you guys have never done Facebook Marketplace leads, you basically just go to a group like Buy Garage Sales in Denver, Garage Sales in Florida, Orlando, Garage Sales in Dallas, wherever it may be, and your VAs post your listings in there, right? You've seen other agents do it, yet you've never made it work for yourself because you've never been consistent about it. The VAs can do that, because for us, if my VAs do that all 200 working days a year, we're going to average anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 leads each year, 2 to 3 a day, 4 a day. that we know statistically 5 to 10 of those people will close just by doing that one task. Same thing comes here, Craigslist post. Again, a lot of you guys think that this is old school, it's 8 years ago, it's 6 years ago. This still works more than ever now because a lot of agents have left Craigslist. It's something that would take your VA 5 minutes a day to do. You shouldn't undermine it. If you're too good for $10,000 to $30,000 on your bottom line a year, or if you're on a team, you have multiple agents, multiple VAs, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We have one team last week called me up. They said they made $150,000 this year. Yes, in 2021 already. We're only 30 days in. They've already made $150,000 from Craigslist deals in just 30 days. Now, some of those leads were generated last year and they closed now. But in the first 30 days, $150,000 in Craigslist leads. Absolutely insane money. The next thing that we see our virtual assistants do a lot of is we call it 8-word emails. So I would love to hear from you guys here who has a database full of old leads, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. If you guys have a database of old leads, comment how many old leads you guys have in your database. I would love to hear it. And I'm gonna show you guys a quick trick that gets an insane response. And we can only do this with virtual assistants because it's pretty labor intensive. But again, we're looking to do things that might spark 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more deals a year. We're not looking for something that's easy and automated all the time. We're looking for something. So if you guys have an email database, Dan says he's got a 1,500 person internet database. That's pretty typical. A lot of agents I talk to have 500, 2,000, even 10,000. Guys, the 8-word email is super simple. And a lot of us, when we're using systems like Lion's Desk, we're using things like Boomtown, we're using things like Sync, which are all great CRMs, by the way, would recommend all of them. One of the things we forget is all of those drip campaigns, a large majority of them are going to the spam filter. They are going to the promotions filter. And so one way that we can get a drastic increase in our lead volume is we will look at who are all the leads that have come into our database in the last year. And what we'll do is we'll take this 8-word email and it will literally say this: are you still looking to buy in 2021? Question mark. So it's really a 7-word and a question mark. Are you still looking to buy in 2021? Question mark. If you send that and that's all you send, it's going to have an amazing response. We get hundreds of responses every single time we send this. Now, the reason why is we have our virtual assistants go in and they create an email address. So for us, it's like justonnelson01@gmail.com. And they will send an email to these people as if they're me. And what they'll do is, because we're using a new email account, we'll send like 10 a day. We get such a high response rate because it's actually hitting their inbox. And it's not just getting stuck into the promotions filter. Because while technology is great, email blasts are great, you can get a way higher response rate by using some manual labor. And what I mean by manual labor is, yes, your VA is gonna have to take the address out, put it in an email account. But again, we're taking swings at $10,000 checks, $5,000 checks. Some of you guys on here, you're taking swings at $25,000 checks in your market. So well worth a few dollars an hour to have somebody do that. Again, just changing the way that we look at things. So Dan, 1,500, that would probably take your VA about a month and a half to do that all by manual hand, in terms of they spend like an hour and a half a day doing it. But if you take an hour and a half a day at $4 an hour and times that by 4 weeks, you're talking 4 hours. It could be quite effective in just making sure people are getting your messages. Number 5 way that we see VAs helping lead generate, we have a few people up in actually the Northeast that are doing this at a high level, is they have their VAs take all the for sale by owners, all the expireds, and they prep it all. So they'll go find them all for the day, whether it's using Zillow, RedX, Vulcan, whatever systems they're using. The VAs will take all of that information, they'll import it into the database, they'll set up all the campaigns, and then when whoever's gonna call them comes in, they're ready. Now, I'll be honest with you, the team that's crushing it in the Northeast, they're not even calling the leads, they're just texting the leads. And it's all because they can just come in, click a button so that they're the ones that are officially sending the text. They text them individually and they're getting a super high response rate, because then the VA is also sending that person a card with a brownie in it to their front doorstep. So that way when these texts are coming through, people are doing it. Again, we kind of call it the lazy man's way to expireds and for sale by owners. It's not something you would ever do as a solo agent, most likely, unless it was your only lead gen source, would be come into the office, look at the 20 for sale by owners and expireds, hand type them a custom card, send them brownies, then set them up in a text campaign. By then, you've probably already been distracted 14 times by something else. When you have a VA that is consistently doing that for you over time, remember, the VA is only costing you $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a year for a full-time worker. How can we not make money? That's always my question. How do you not make money when you do that, right? You do enough touches. One of my good friends, Dan Jerseth out of Wisconsin, he was basically saying this morning in one of his YouTube videos that if you are really, really bad at lead generating, you will eventually just have a call where someone just goes, "We want to list my house this afternoon." Right? We literally send text messages to people like, "Well, I needed to call an agent anyways. I was tired of being an expired, or I was tired of for sale by owner." You will run into these random things. But again, like Michael Reese, a mentor of mine, said, if you're not putting more offers out into the market, you're never going to get this, right? If these aren't showing up, and we're not talking mailing 500 people, we're talking the VAs are helping us be very specific and targeted to these different things. Number 6. Cold DM messaging. Most of you guys have heard me talk about this before. If you haven't, I absolutely think that this is, in my opinion, actually should be number 1. I didn't put these in any necessarily order, is cold DM messaging. I want you guys to tell me in the comments right now, how many friends on Facebook do you have? If you've ever heard me speak before, you've probably heard me ask this question a million times, but it's for a good purpose. How many friends on Facebook do you have? Because that is going to be critical to the strategy. So for me personally, I always hover around 4,800 friends on Facebook. Most of you guys know the max is 5,000. And so I would love to know how many people you guys have on Facebook. This person says 1,600. It's blocking your information out. So thank you for commenting. 1,700, love that answer. That's pretty typical. The average agent, when we surveyed them in 2018, it would have been now, so 2018, so stats are a little old. The average agent in 2018 that was a $3 million producer, so someone that sold $3 million in real estate, so roughly about 90,000 in GCI, the average $3 million producer, on average, only had 347 friends on Facebook. 347. The average $20 million producer in 2018 had over 2,500 plus friends on average. Because what people have figured out is Facebook, Instagram, these are all just big databases. And let me be honest with you guys, some of you guys are scared to message people on Facebook and just say, "Hey, what's up?" But yet you know at the deep depths of your heart that you need to be mailing your database, you need to be email marketing them, you need to be sending them monthly market updates, you need to be doing all these things. And here's the reality. When you know that's what you need to do on your CRM usually does not have people that are nearly as close to you as Facebook does. And so if you're willing to send mailers to random people, you know, I say random, you might not know as well. If you're willing to send them monthly market updates, why are you not willing to cold message someone on your Facebook account? So Dan's got 3,200 people on his account. My question and challenge to Dan would be, when's the last time that you made sure all 3,200 people on your account have had a Facebook message to them, right? All 3,200 people for Dan will make Dan money. Dan, if you guys don't know Dan does 2 things really well. He sells a lot of real estate, runs a great team, and he also recruits a lot. Of those 3,200 people, every single one of those people can help Dan. They can either help refer him to somebody that can sell real estate with him. They can refer him to someone that his team can sell real estate with. Or number 3, they can refer him somebody that might be looking to get into real estate because Dan makes money off of recruiting. And so my challenge to Dan would be is your database even at 3,200 people? And when's the last time you messaged someone on Facebook and made sure all 3,200 people felt loved, felt connected with? and knew what you were up to, right? I'm not saying message someone and ask for referrals. I'm just saying drop a, hey, how are you? Or even more awkwardly like I do, I sometimes drop a message, hey, I was just going through my Facebook friends and I noticed we were friends. I don't even remember where I met you. Do we have mutual, or where did we meet? And sometimes it's just random people that slipped in, totally cool. They'll either not respond or I'll delete them off. And so when it comes to cold DM messaging, our VAs will reach out to about 20 people per day. And so while I obviously sell virtual assistant services now primarily, my VAs are going through 20 real estate agents a day, messaging them, just going, hey, how are you guys doing? And then I take over the conversation from there. So the whole point of the VA is just for them to initiate all the 20 conversations. They send out the first one, and then I usually take over most of the conversations for the most part. Sometimes the VAs will continue to have the conversations, but usually I take it over because I probably have a majority of the relationship. But I'll tell you, my VAs start doing that at about 7:15, 7:30 in the morning. There is nothing better than me rolling out of my workout, rolling out of my morning routine, coming into my office, which is like 5 feet from my bed in the other room, and already having 20 people messaging me. I didn't even have to do anything. I'm just looking at all these replies. It makes lead generation so much easier. So that's cold DM messaging, guys. Don't overthink it. Just find something to say to all 3,200 people. It could either be, hey, I saw you went on vacation. It could be, hey, how's the job? There's so many different things that we can do in these different manners. Somebody asked us, how much are your VA services? I'll cover that at the end, but to be honest with you, go to sphererocketva.com at the bottom. We're actually scrolling it right here. You can set up a call with our sales team. We don't really have just like a standard price depending on what you need. However, there also is a standard price. So just talk to the sales team. They're more than happy. It's only like a 15-minute call. Jump on with them. That can answer all your questions for that. Next, number 7. Business-to-business coffee challenge. Whenever I was a real estate agent, I actually hired a full-time in-person assistant to do this. I say, well, I still am a real estate agent, but back in my meat of my selling days, I hired a full-time in-person assistant to do this and later transitioned it to a VA. The business-to-business coffee challenge is basically I stuck my VA out to, I said, here's the thing. 101 of real estate is the more popular you are, the more money you make. And that's just the reality. How many of you guys know a real estate agent that is absolutely a sucky real estate agent, but they make a lot of money just because people know them? We all have them. I could name a lot of them that they're just popular, so people go to them and they don't even realize that agent sucks. And so I say that to say the more popular you are, you're going to do more business. But since you don't suck, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. And so what we figured out is if we could become really popular in our city. So for me, that was Longmont, Colorado. We want to be popular. And the best way to be popular really, really fast is to not be popular by just meeting onesie people here in the Walmart line or meet people here. Is how do I get the max amount of appeal and touch at the same time? So we took this challenge to where we would have my assistant reach out to these local businesses and say, hey, Justin would love to pick your brain for 15 minutes. And he wants to learn more about your services so that way he can offer it to all his plethora of real estate clients that he has. And at the time, our team was doing a good number of deals. So we'd say, hey, we have a ton of clients that might be looking for these services. He would love to pick your brain. My VAs would go out and they'd find these businesses, right? And they would find the businesses like hairstylists, people that were talking to 10, 12 people a day. And you multiply that by 5 days, people that could spread the word and be our ears on the ground about real estate. We went after places like, one of my most popular and most successful is I found an arborist. The arborist sent me like 2 deals in like the first 60 days of knowing this guy because he was cutting trees for people that were prepping to sell. He was getting to know people and he even sent me his own family, right? Where we used our VAs to go through the phone book, find every type of job in the area, and we just set a ton of coffee meetings. And my VA would take care of it all. They'd set the appointment, the confirmation, and I would go to a coffee shop, sit there for 2.5 hours. We do 20-minute time slots. These business owners would come in. It's even easier now because we do Zoom calls. I do the same thing in my business now. I meet with top producers every single day to let them know about our VA services. And they're just 10-minute calls back to back to back just to get the word out. So use your VAs for business-to-business coffee challenges. Number 8, a lot of you guys have seen this. A lot of you guys think it's silly, but it makes a lot of money for a lot of people. Searching for garage sales, searching Craigslist, searching Facebook Marketplace, finding garage sales in your local market and having the VAs reach out to them to see if you can help advertise them. What I do is I'll just have the VAs reach out, go, hey, I saw you at a garage sale this weekend. I know a ton of people in this area. Can we advertise this for you? Sometimes we would even drop off signs to these people like, hey, we'd go to Home Depot, find some open house signs, or not open house, garage sale signs, and we drop them off with our card on it, right? A great way, because people that are a lot of times doing garage sales are prepping for a move, whether it's a month away, 6 months away. And again, it's one of those things that's probably not worth 2 or 3 hours of your day. But if the VAs can take care of all of this, again, why not run into 1, 2, 3, 4 extra listings a year? So that was pretty self-explanatory. One of my favorites, number 9, virtual pop buys, Brian Buffini style. If you guys don't know who Brian Buffini is, look up his YouTube videos. He's a genius when it comes to doing pop buys. A pop buy gift is basically just taking your top few hundred people, could be just as few as 25, and continually sending them gifts, right? Even if the gift only costs $2, it's all about doing something different. When's the last time that your car insurance agent sent you a gift, right? Never. But what if they sent you a candy cane on Christmas, and they sent you, on Easter, they sent you some Peeps that cost $2 and taste disgusting? Actually, I take that back. I love Peeps, but most people think they taste disgusting. But what if you just did these little things throughout the year that only cost $2 or $3 that let people know that you cared about them? So for me, what my VAs do is I have an Amazon account. I buy an Amazon gift card for $500 usually every single month. I load it up in there. That way my VAs don't have access to my credit card information. They go in there and they start putting in everybody's addresses. Hey, we're going to send this order of Peeps to 123 Main Street and Sally, and then you can put a gift card note, and they just go through and they spend hours and hours sending these custom gifts. Brian Buffini talks about the in-person pop buy, which is knocking on the door, saying hi. It doesn't work as well in my business now. Still would work in real estate, but obviously with people in COVID and things like that, the virtual pop buy works great. Now, I'll tell you, there's a lot of solutions to do this. We use Amazon. It's the hardest solution because they lock our VAs out a lot of times. But send out cards is one that works every single time, and they have a million gifts you can choose from. Then there's a few other companies out there as well that your VAs can log into and send little pop buy gifts. A super effective way to have your clients receiving your face on their doorstep. And the best thing is a lot of you guys have probably received Amazon packages from me and you thought it was from me. You didn't even think that it was going to be from a virtual assistant. So in your clients, I would expect for you to expect it to be a VA because you know me, but I wouldn't expect your clients to ever guess it was a VA because it's coming from your Amazon account. So number 10, this is something more of in the past. We'll see if it returns, but open houses for a lot of people were a big, big part of their business. And so open houses, our virtual assistants would help us find what we call the ideal open house, guys. A lot of you guys run real estate teams, or you could use more open houses yourself because listing inventory is so low. What we would use our VAs for is our virtual assistants would go into our MLS on a daily basis, and they would look at like a certain area. Now, back when I was doing this, I didn't necessarily have VAs doing this for me, but I had my other assistant doing it. They would basically set up a search engine in a geographic farm, and I wanted every open house in that farm, even if it was listed by RE/MAX, Coldwell Banker. It didn't matter. I wanted to ask that agent if I could hold it open. And back in the day when the market wasn't as crazy, my VAs could get me 2, 3, 4 open houses a weekend when I didn't have any listings on my book at the time. Or if I had listings and maybe other people on my team were doing it, it allowed us to maximize that. If you guys have a big team and you want to make your team do more open houses, having a virtual assistant coordinate it all, find them, email those agents, ask to hold it open, can make you a lot of money in the long run. All right, I lied. We actually have 14 or 15. I added in a few bonuses last minute. Number 11, manage a client VIP Facebook group. I learned this at a Keller Williams family reunion a few years back. I can't remember who it was from, but it was all about every time that you have a past client close, you need to put them into a private Facebook group. A Facebook group that you create that's maybe called the Justin Nelson Team VIP Clients, right? Name it something special. That way, when your clients are in there, what you can do is it's a great place for you to cultivate what we call a referral network, or a referral culture is more of what we usually call it, a referral culture. So like I do that in all of my businesses. All of my businesses have closed Facebook groups for our clients. And whenever someone sends us a referral and it closes, we try our best to always be on top of congratulating them in the group and thanking them for sending us a referral. Because when you build this group full of people that are like, wow, this guy sent Justin 10 referrals last month, I didn't send him any. Guys, subconsciously, our customers go, oh, man, Justin must not like me. I'm not sending as many referrals as that guy. So subconsciously, our human nature starts to think, and our subconscious and our reticular activator starts to look around and starts to look for those deals, even if you're not subconsciously doing it. And so creating a culture in a Facebook group is really fun to do that in. You can obviously post your past client events, your updates, messages just to them. It's a great way to manage that. Number 12, many of you guys know that Matt Golba on our team, he is our marketing director. He is my longest tenured US-based employee. He runs a LinkedIn automation program that many of you guys are a part of. If you guys are not a part of his LinkedIn automation program, you should check it out. It's literally the best $150 you'll spend a month. I think last month it made us like $35,000 in new income on a $150 tool. Absolutely insane. But talk to Matt if you guys need access to that. But what we do with that tool is we actually blast message HR departments across the nation. We blast message niches, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But on LinkedIn, we're able to mass message different people, different offers, and different things like that. You can do it without software. I would never recommend it. But that's another way that a lot of our consumers do that. So, Perfect. Let's see what else. What else we got coming up here? Cold email niches. This is one of my favorite things to do in my current business. Is we find people that we know could use our products and our services and what I'm passionate for, and we email them coldly. So many of you guys serve military niches, teacher niches, engineer niches. And I'm going to talk about engineers here. Most of you guys are probably like, what the hell is that? But let's say you have teachers. Let's say you're an ex-teacher, or you're passionate about teachers and you help a lot of teachers. Most teachers' emails are public online, right? We can email them, guys. Most people think that cold email is illegal to cold email people random stuff. It is absolutely not illegal to do that. It is illegal when you do not follow the canned spam rules, and you don't have the unsubscribes, and you don't have the certain things, or you include the wrong things. If you guys are following the rules, cold email is absolutely 100% legal. Whoever is a big agent at your brokerage, whether it's KW, EXP, Remax, Citrus 21, they are sending cold email to cold people usually, and you don't even realize it because you still think it's illegal. It is absolutely not. I cold email people all day long, following the rules. But you can take, and you guys can think about this, not gonna get too deep into it, but what if you could take your entire school district, just send them all an email and just say, hey, my name is Justin. I specialize in helping teachers. I know you may already have an agent, and I want to respect that. But if you happen to not, or you find any new teachers that are looking for maximum savings discounts when they're moving or buying or coming in or out, let me know, as I would love to help them, because this is why I'm passionate about teachers. And so would love to do that. Also, if you guys are interested in talking with Matt about LinkedIn software, I saw a few of you guys just ask me in the comments here. You guys can check out the comments, and Matt will get you a link to that. That's also Matt's pretty face and his name. So if you guys want to look him up on Facebook as well, you guys can get with Matt. He runs our entire LinkedIn program and division very successfully. He's more than happy to schedule a time to chat with you guys on that. But back to the main subject of today. Last but not least, number 14 is managing the referral network, becoming the king or queen of your city. What most people don't realize, and I talk about this, I probably beat a dead horse for some of you guys listening right now. You are becoming popular with the wrong people. You're becoming popular with the wrong people. You're trying to become popular, and I'm going to give you guys a true story on this. I was at Keller Williams for many years, loved it, loved the big conferences, still one of my favorite conferences to go to, Family Reunion, massive value. And I would go to these conferences, And I was so excited, and I heard about these agents having success with agent-to-agent referrals. And so when I'd go to these conferences, I would just sporadically meet people. I'd meet someone from New York, someone from Florida, someone from Oklahoma, someone from New Jersey, someone from Seattle. And I got this network of like 20 or 40 people that I knew and I had met, put them in a database. And I would drip campaign them. I would call them every once in a while. And after like 2 years, I was like, why are these people not sending me deals? Like, do they hate me? Am I doing this wrong? What am I not understanding? And what I realized is when we looked at the math, was these people all live in different parts of the nation. And let's say that the average agent, let's just take average numbers, does 12 deals a year. The number is not even nearly that high. But if we say we meet these 12 agents, or 40 agents, 12 deals a year, that's only roughly about 400 deals. What are the chances that of those deals, they're going to come to my little city of Longmont, Colorado, right? They might go to Denver, but even for me, that was quite a long drive. But what we soon realized is we didn't need to become popular with people across the nation. We needed to become popular for people in places that were moving to us. And I'm not going to discredit all of you guys that are trying to get California business, because that's absolutely crushing it right now. But what I'm thinking on a smaller scale and what is more sustainable is I lived in northern Colorado, so about probably 45 minutes north of Denver. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to become extremely popular with all the agents in Denver. I wanted them to look at me as the king of Longmont, Colorado real estate. I didn't care if they looked at my numbers or anything like that. Like, while I was producing a lot, I might not have been the king, but when people saw my Instagram, my Facebook, all my different platforms, they just saw me posting a ton of real estate in Longmont. And so when people thought Longmont or North in Denver, if they were an older agent that has been in the business a while, they didn't want to travel that far, or maybe they just didn't want to travel that far, or even more importantly, the entire southern half of the state that was in a different MLS, we became known as the most popular team in those people's brains. I didn't have to be the most popular team in the brains of people around me, or in New York or Seattle or Florida or Texas. I needed to be the most popular person in the brains of all the agents in Southern Colorado. So what we did is I took a roster at the time, because I was at Keller Williams, I took a roster of every Keller Williams agent in all of Colorado in areas that were outside of our perimeter. Places where I knew because I didn't serve them, they wouldn't serve us. And so I flooded my account with thousands of followers of these people, and we started to slowly touch them. Many of them started off by not even knowing who I was, but because my ugly mug posted enough videos over and over and over again of Northern Colorado real estate, we started to see people go, who are we going to call in Northern Colorado? Oh, Justin. And it was so easy because we had the Colorado connection. We were at the same real estate company, and I had just gotten beat into their mind. I didn't have to put them in a CRM. I didn't have to make phone calls to them. I literally just sent them a friend request to make sure that they were watching everything I was doing. And some of you guys would be like, well, wouldn't that be annoying to them? No, because here's the thing. They're just watching it on Facebook, right? They can scroll through it, but even if they watched a 30-second, or let's be honest, a 3-second clip of my 7th open house for the weekend, they were still like, wow, Justin's got 7 open houses this weekend, or 3 or whatever. They wouldn't even realize that it was actually, of the 7, only 2 were my listings and 5 were somebody else's, but they started to associate Justin, the team he's on, Mike, his dad, they started to associate as the go-to people, and that started to snowball into more and more transactions. And so obviously with Virtual Assistant, your VAs can be in charge of a lot of that, of making sure you guys become popular among the right people. So I saw we had a few questions in here. Is it best to communicate and teachers through MailChimp? Absolutely. If you're a solo agent, you have no team members, MailChimp is fantastic. However, if you got a VA, I love cold messaging these people on just regular Gmail accounts, right? Where you're literally going to copy and paste the same script to the same teachers and make sure that it hits the inbox. MailChimp will do a great job of getting these messages to people as well. But I really like to email them directly on the first time to kind of get them interested. So absolutely love that. Great questions. If for some reason you guys were live streaming this to like 7 different places, and I just got a notice saying some comments can't be shown to me right now. So if you had a comment or a question and I didn't answer it, I'm not ignoring you. I just literally can't see it. So spam blocks me when I send it through Gmail. Definitely should not. If you're sending a lot of them, yes, but we're talking about only like sending 3 to 5 a day. If you're sending 3 to 5 a day from your Gmail account and you're getting blocked, then your Gmail account's defective. You know, you only want to send a few at a time. And it's, again, that consistency over a long time that really makes it work for you. So does your VAs prefer specific diapers or systems? Do they use their own and I just pay for usage? Our virtual assistants are no different than an assistant. So we get a lot of questions about, Justin, what can a VA do and what can they not do? Imagine this. Imagine hiring an assistant in your local market, and let's say you have a 2-bedroom house. Your office is in 1 bedroom, their office is in another bedroom. Imagine putting your virtual assistant in that bedroom and office, and the door got stuck and it won't open ever again. That will then answer your question on what can a virtual assistant do, right? What can they do? Well, how do I talk to them? Well, you can call them, you can text them, you can Zoom them just like this. All of my VAs are actually behind the screen here on my wall on their own TV monitors, and you can do all of these things just like that. And so when a VA comes onto your staff as an assistant, if you added an assistant that came and sat next to you in the office, what systems would they use, right? The assistant you hire isn't going to come with their own mailing system and things like that. They're going to want to use yours, or if you don't have one, then of course, especially with us, our VAs can come trained in several different ones. We can make sure that we suggest some different options to you to integrate faster. So to answer your question, they use all of your systems and different things like that. Someone just said that they got makes sense. I've been sending hundreds at a time. What I will do is, if you can comment your name for me, your name says Facebook user, because privacy settings are blocked there. If you comment your name to me, I will send you a solution that will actually allow you to use Gmail accounts and send hundreds per day and not get you spam blocked. It is an automation tool. It's one of my favorites, and I can definitely send it to you. Just drop your name in there so I can actually see it in the comments, and we'll get that over to you. So with that being said, guys, if you guys have any questions, you guys want virtual assistants, we make it pretty easy. Thanks, Jill. We'll get that to you. We make it really, really easy to get VAs through us. All you have to do is just go to this Facebook group here. You guys go to sphererocketva.com and use the discount code FB Group. Rick, the FB Group just lets my sales team know where you're coming from, what you know about us, and of course, we would love to have the opportunity to help you get a virtual assistant. Last year, like we said, we did about 400 plus virtual assistants for agents across the nation. And it doesn't matter what brokerage you're at, right? Whether it's EXP, KW, RE/MAX, Century 21, Compass, small mom and pops, whatever it is, Realty One, there is no shortage of places that we've helped develop awesome virtual assistants for you. So as we wrap up here, I will stick around for just a second to see if you guys have any questions. But sphererocketva.com, and the discount code is Facebook group. If you guys have any questions, jump on there, talk to my awesome sales team. If you guys have never met Kale before, Kale is our sales rock star. Some people are like, Justin, where are you at? I promise you, you want Kale explaining to you. We offer so many things in our program that sometimes I even lose track. Kale will definitely walk you through all of the different things we offer as a part of getting virtual assistants through us. So Jill, I will definitely get that over to you as well. Thank you guys for joining in. I loved having 45 beautiful faces that I could not see, but love that you guys were joining on with us today. With that being said, we are going to do a countdown and get us out of here.